My name is Larice Harvey, and you are watching AccessTV.org.
Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org. Hello and welcome to Civic Beat. I'm Nyesha McCauley. Thank you for tuning in and joining me as we explore how our city government works and how you can get involved and ways that you can participate and how you're needed to participate in your city, state, and federal government for that matter. Last week, I brought to you an update on the Community Development Block Grants, and I want to thank everyone who watched that show. I want to thank my guests once again for coming in and talking about the CDBG grant. I wanted to spend this show just giving you a little more of an idea of how that works, because I think it is a resource that many of us are not taking advantage of, and also because it is time sensitive. As of right now, today is February 10th. Happy birthday, Nyesha McCauley. Time is running out. You have to apply by the 27th, and that is this month, February 27th. Last week, the city of Hartford did hold a public hearing to give people interested in applying to the grant an opportunity to come out, ask questions, find out more information about how it works, what they need to apply, the whole 9 yards. That was last Thursday. You're going to have one more opportunity to find out about how you can apply to receive CDBG funds, 22nd of February. February 22nd at Pope Park Rec Center, there's going to be a community meeting at 11 a.m. I encourage you to go out to this meeting to get more information, and I'm urging you to go out and just find out more about it. Maybe you are not applying this year because you're just not prepared to do so. There's a couple of requirements that you do have to meet in order to be eligible for the funds. So maybe you're not just ready yet this year, but go out to the meeting anyway to find out more about it, because it is an annual grant. It's an annual grant, so next year around this time, the applications will go out again, and you'll be in a better position to apply to receive your funding. Now, what we explained on last week's show was that community development block grants are just that, grants, in which you do not have to repay a grant. Basically, you just need to make your case as to what you're going to do with this money, why you want to receive it, what you're going to do with it, and how's it going to benefit the community at large. That's the purpose of the grants. They are given out to agencies, nonprofit organizations. They're given out to businesses. And basically, it's the federal government saying, how can we help urban communities in pretty much three objectives. Like they look at housing, blight, they look at opportunities for people living with AIDS and HIV, their housing opportunities. They look at economic development in low-income areas, and they look at urgent needs in low-income areas as well. So they really are just giving this money, and it's up to the city that's receiving these funds to really utilize them in a way that can benefit the whole city. You know, the city of Hartford will also get some of this money to make improvements. They can decide that, you know, they want to focus on maybe rebuilding a community center. doing facade improvements to maybe a row of businesses. So it really is important that you take a look at these funds and how they're being used here in the city of Hartford. So again, it's the 22nd of February. If you want more information now, you don't want to wait until the 22nd, you can contact Millicent Meadows. She was on the show last week. If you want more information about how the CDBG works, watch last week's show. We brought to you some great information, but call Millicent right now and she can give you more information about how the grant works. You can reach her at 860-757-9018. So call her at that number and just say, hey, Millicent, I heard about the Community Development Block Grant. I'm a small business or I'm a nonprofit and I'm interested in applying. I wanted to give you an idea of the kind of funds that are handed out in this grant application process, also just to give you a better understanding of how this works. And I just highlighted a couple of organizations that receive funding in the 2011-2012 year. And this is not it's just random names. I'm just sharing, so I'm not saying anything about the quality of the programs or the people involved in the programs, but I'm just bringing it to your attention. The Artist Collective received $12,750 to run a summer camp program. Billings Forge received job training funds in the amount of $8,500. Co-Opportunity, their Youth Build program, $14,450. And I think for Co-Opportunity, I will say, I am saying something about that one because as I understand it, Co-Opportunity is no longer in existence. So that's interesting that they received that amount of money at that time, but yet and still they're no longer here. And Youth Build is a pretty good program too. We'll get into that at another date. Hart received $45,050 to run their housing program, and that's just to provide residents in the city of Hartford who want housing assistance. You're thinking about buying a house and you need credit counseling and all the other things that go into buying a house. The city of Hartford received $130,000 for the small business development, and we're going to take a break and I'll come back and tell you a little bit more about how the business side of community development block grants work, because that's important. One major objective of the community development block grants is for small businesses. It's for economic development. And if the city of Hartford needs anything, it needs economic development opportunities. And so this is one of the areas in which you can apply to receive funding. So stay tuned after the break. I'm going to give you more information about how that works. HEDCO receives money, and HEDCO is the arm of the city government that actually gives small business loans, specifically to small businesses, the kind of small businesses that we have here in the city of Hartford. And they receive $230,000, and this is for their small business loan program. So there's money out there, there's money available. If you are thinking about starting up your own business, are currently in business and want to expand your business, we're going to give you a little bit more information about how this whole thing will work. But definitely take advantage of it. As I said, time is running out. I'm going to take a short break, and when I come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the micro enterprise side of community development block grants. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Black History Month. We pause to acknowledge and appreciate contributions enriching our cultural and intellectual fabric. Keep it coming.
We are the members of the Saturday Boston Dance Theater, and we celebrate Black history 365 days of the year.
At Hartford Hartford Public Schools. We care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.
And welcome back. You are watching Civic Beat. I'm Nyesha McCauley, and today we are continuing our conversation about community development block grants. And I dedicated a whole second show to talking about community development block grants because now is the time. And it's something that, you know, I think is important in the theme of Civic Beat and how you can participate in your city, your state, your federal government, because community development block grants are handed down from the federal government to cities, to urban cities, in order to help out basically everyone for the benefit of all. So we discussed previously how nonprofits definitely can take advantage of community development block grants, but there's also an opportunity if you are a small business. So the way that a community development block grant works for a small business is if you want to expand your business. So you could be in a barbershop. You could be in a hairdresser. You could be a deli, and you are interested in expanding your business, hiring, particularly you want to hire 1 or 2 or 3 more individuals. You can apply to receive funding from the Community Development Block Grant Program for just that purpose. You do have to be in business. As far as I understand it, it's not necessarily startup money, but I could be wrong on that. So I would encourage you to call Millicent Meadows and just find out if you have an idea to start your own business, would the grant allow you the opportunity to basically start up the business? And those are the kinds of things and the kinds of questions that you need to start thinking about. And so when you go out to the community meeting on February 22nd, you could be a new business looking to start up, and that would be one of the questions that I would ask. But call Millicent right now. Call her today, 860-757-9018. Millicent Meadows. She is the project manager, so she could provide you with definitely more information. If you're a daycare center and you want to expand how many children you can have, you know, that's an economic development opportunity right there. You want to grow your daycare. Maybe you are doing it right now out of your home with eyes on expanding it to an actual building and facility. That is something that you could do with a community development block grant. And again, it's a grant. These are not funds that you have to repay. There are some performance metrics that are built into the grant. Obviously, they're going to keep track on you and see how you are using the funds. But again, I would apply and I would ask these kinds of questions. Hartford could definitely use more economic development. There could be plenty of opportunities for businesses to expand and give more people jobs in the city. So that's a good thing. So go out to the next community information meeting, which is February 22nd, because the applications are due on the 27th. So definitely take advantage of all of those opportunities. And the other side of this that I want you to be aware of, if you can get this list. I mentioned the organizations and the different departments in the city that have received CDBG funds in the past, and I would encourage you to go look at that list. And that can be found at hartford.gov. That's hartford.gov. And look under community development block grants, and you can see a link to the reports. And that's where I found this information. You can go and see for yourself who received funding. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because part of being an active citizen in this city is holding those people who have received funds accountable. So holding our elected officials accountable, the people who administer the funds accountable, and then also the recipients of these funds really should be in service to you out there, the residents. So take a look at how these funds are being expended, and not just rely upon the city administrators to monitor them, but by all means you can monitor them yourselves. Are the funds being used the way that they were intended to be used? So that's how this whole thing works. That's how, being a participant in your government, in your city, works. Check up on folks, see how things are being done. Speaking of how things are being done, in addition to all the information I'm bringing you today, there is a city council meeting coming up, and it's actually quite an important one. The Board of Education is going to get a new member if all goes well, and I don't anticipate any problems, but Mayor Segarra has appointed Shelley Best, who is the executive director of the Conference of Churches, to sit on the Hartford Board of Education. So she will be going before the council this evening for their stamp of approval on that appointment recommendation. And I don't foresee any problems. I think Shelley is well respected in the community and does a lot of great things with the Conference of Churches. So, but tune in tonight. It should be carried live, but if not, give me a call. If you tune in to watch the city council meeting and it's not live, I want to hear about it. You could call me or leave a comment in the comment section of this program. And let me know about it. I'm not going to give out my cell phone number, but there actually is another number. Can people, I'm going to just yell to the executive producer here, can people leave messages at the 914 number? Yes. Okay, so I could give you that number if I had it, and I think I do. Courtesy of All Politics is Local. Arjo Wench, All Politics is Local airs every Monday night here on Access TV at 8 p.m. But the number you can call if you want to leave me some information about that city council meeting I'm telling you about is area code 914-222-3771. Again, 914-222-3771. And just leave me some information about whether or not the council meeting was live when you were watching it. 914 Access 1. That's it? Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, 914 Access 1. That's definitely easy to remember. Okay, so council meetings are held the second Monday of every month. The first hour of the council meeting from 6 to 7 is given to you, the residents, to speak about the agenda items or any other particular item that is plaguing you here in the city. Definitely take advantage of that opportunity to go out and speak directly to your council members. The remainder of the meeting time is dedicated to going over the items on the agenda. If you want to know what's being heard on the council's agenda, you actually can sign up to receive the agenda by email. It's generally emailed out the Wednesday prior to the council meeting, and it'll come directly to your inbox, and you can keep track of current things going on in the city. That's one of the things I want to focus on Civic Beat. It's just giving you an update on different things that are happening in the city. But I did want to dedicate these two shows to community development block grants because, again, your time is running out and some of you may be new to the whole CDBG process and you want to jump on board and get involved right now. Well, that is just about my time for today. I'm going to leave you with this interesting thought. Gino Ariyama, as you may know, is the coach of the UConn women's basketball team. And if I'm not mistaken, they have won every single game for this basketball season. And something that occurred to me this morning is that Gino was born to be a coach. He's just really, really good at this. So there are few examples in my life where I've seen someone just excel so effortlessly, seemingly, at doing this. Like, this is something that he was meant to do. So my final thought I'm going to leave you with is find that thing that you were meant to do. And it should be enjoyable. It should be something that just you have a passion for. And Gino is that example for all of us, that he's found his life's passion, and he is excelling at it abundantly. So until next time, thank you for joining me on Civic Beat, Nyesha McCauley, and participate. It's your government. Thanks, Hartford.
At Hartford Public Schools, we care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.